Price your product too high and you alienate potential customers. Price it too low and you will look too cheap to be of quality. Pricing is a fine balancing act. In this episode, we will discuss the 3 core pricing strategies in SaaS with 5 different dimensions, and at the end, I cover another 6 key elements on how to increase profitability and keep your customers happy at the same time. A good pricing strategy has a lot of nuances, and a lot of that will depend who your audience is. Whether you are hunting rabbits, deer, or elephants, whether your ACV is $500 with an appointment setting tool, or whether it's $1 million, like in the case of an enterprise ERP and CRM across your whole organization with thousands of employees, pricing strategies differ. If you're selling your SaaS to consumers or to small and medium businesses, or if you're an enterprise SaaS, pricing strategies also vary between vertical software businesses and horizontal software business. This episode will give you an overview when to apply which pricing strategy and what type of companies follow which strategy. Intro. What's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm Alexej and I help SaaS founders scale. The topic of pricing strategies can be really complex. Fun fact, in 2010, I interned at Simon Kucher & Partners, a global consultancy specializing in pricing with more than 2,000 employees across 30 countries, spending a lot of time on pricing strategies. I will try to simplify pricing for you in this video though. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're excited to dive into the first pricing strategy, go ahead and press that like button for the YouTube algorithm. So to start with the pricing models, the first one is cost-based pricing. This is the simplest form of pricing where you calculate the cost of producing your service and add a markup to ensure profitability. It's straightforward and easy to explain to customers, but it often fails to capture the true value of your product. An example is DigitalOcean offers cloud hosting services with a clear cost-based pricing strategy. They provide transparent pricing that reflects the cost of the infrastructure plus a markup. This model is straightforward, making it easy for startups and developers to predict monthly expenses based on their resource usage. The second pricing strategy is the market-based pricing strategy. This strategy involves setting your prices based on what the market will bear, considering what competitors charge for similar products. It requires thorough market research and competitor analysis, but allows you to position your product competitively. The downside is that it can lead to a race to the bottom if not managed carefully, as companies continuously undercut each other's prices. An example here is Adobe setting the price for its Creative Cloud suite by considering the market rates for similar software suite. This strategy ensures that Adobe remains competitive in the creative software market, aligning its prices with what customers expect to pay based on competitor pricing while offering a comprehensive set of tools. But the third pricing strategy is the value-based pricing strategy, the most sophisticated and potentially rewarding pricing strategy. Value-based pricing requires a deep understanding of your customer needs and the value they derive from your product. It's about aligning your price with the perceived worth of your product in the eyes of your customers. Implementing the strategy involves segmenting your customer base, identifying different customer personas, and understanding the specific outcomes they achieve with your product. Even though it has value-based pricing in the name, it's really the pricing strategy where you can have the highest margin. The benefits are substantial, including also better customer alignment, but it demands ongoing customer research and a very good understanding of the competition. Slack utilizes a value-based pricing strategy, where its tiers are structured around the value delivered to teams of different sizes and complexities. This approach ensures that customers can choose the plan that best fits their collaborative needs, paying more for advanced features and integrations as their requirements grow. Slack is also a great example of a category leader. Check out my other video on category design and dominating your niche in the link below. Most of the category leaders, such as Salesforce, Shopify, and Atlassian, drive value-based pricing strategies. Now let's touch on the variables of pricing dynamics topic. Having navigated through the core territories of cost, market, and value-based pricing, let's venture into the vibrant landscape where these models evolve. Picture this as our journey into the heart of SaaS pricing. The variables and variations bring a whole new level of strategy and customization. We're talking about the nuances that make each SaaS offering unique: per user, per device, usage volume, per feature, and duration-based pricing. Each carries its own set of advantages and challenges, shaping the way businesses and customers interact in the digital realm. Now let's start with usage volume pricing. Imagine only paying for exactly what you use, no more, no less. It's like your utility bill, but for software. A good example is Google Cloud Platform. It offers a model where your costs directly reflect your consumption, from data storage to processing power. The pros, it's perfect for businesses whose demands ebb and flow, providing the ultimate flexibility. The cons, it does bring its challenges, like forecasting expenses and managing variable costs, which can be a bit of a balancing act. Now let's look at duration-based pricing. It's all about the commitment. Monthly, annually, you name it. An example is Spotify Premium. It hooks listeners with this approach, offering uninterrupted music streaming for a flat fee. The pros, this model's beauty lies in its simplicity and predictability, a steady rhythm of revenue for providers, and a straightforward decision for users. The cons, however, it's not without its downsides, especially for those who crave more flexibility or might not use the service enough to justify the cost. Now let's look into pricing per feature. This strategy lets customers pick and choose, creating a package that's just right. Example, Canva takes the spotlight here, distinguishing itself by offering tiers based on access to premium designs and features. The pros, it's a model that celebrates customization, encouraging users to upgrade as their needs evolve. The cons, the challenge lies in striking the right balance, ensuring essential features are accessible without overwhelming users with too many choices or placing too high a value on premium options. Now let's look into pricing per device. This model variation charges based on the number of devices utilizing the service. Example, the Norton antivirus software, offering protection plans that scale with the number of devices it covers. The pros, it's a straightforward way to ensure all your gadgets are secure, providing scalability and control. The cons, the challenge is setting a price that reflects the value across varying numbers of devices, avoiding the pitfall of underutilization or overcharging. Now let's check into pay-user SaaS pricing. In this approach, the cost scales with the number of individuals accessing the service, making it straightforward to align pricing with user count. Example, Trello, where the model is charging organizations based on the number of team members using the platform. The pros, it's an intuitive approach that aligns costs directly with team size, fostering transparency and predictability. The cons, however, this model can introduce barriers for larger teams due to escalating costs and may inadvertently prompt account sharing to cut corners. Now, overall though, aim for value-based pricing with simple combinations of pricing variables. Remember this golden rule. No matter which variable you choose, always ensure you're working towards value-based pricing. A product's worth is determined by what people are willing to pay for it. Now, let's look into popular combinations of pricing variables. When it comes to pricing, a combination of variables is often used, but mixing too many of them can leave your customers and maybe even you a bit puzzled. Stick to the three as a general rule of thumb to keep it sweet and simple. It's about finding that perfect blend that resonates with your audience and showcases the value you bring to the table. Here's some popular combinations to help you out. Per user, per feature, and duration, often seen in subscription models. Per device and per feature, this is often found in device models. Per feature and usage, this combination is found in companies where the focus is on the volume of service used and the specific features assessed. By aiming for value-based pricing and carefully selecting up to 3 key dimensions, you're not just navigating the present, you're charting a course for sustainable growth and success in the SaaS universe. Now, if you're still watching this video, chances you're still here, which is amazing. Please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps us grow and do more content. Now, the final part of this video is about the 6 considerations when it comes to pricing. So let's start with the first one. Pricing simplicity. In the realm of SaaS, clarity is king. A straightforward pricing model demystifies the buying process, allowing customers to understand what they're getting and at what cost. This approach enhances transparency and trust, making it easier for customers to commit. Remember, simplicity doesn't strip away the depth of your offerings. It presents them in an easily digestible format. Number 2, data-driven pricing. Data is the lifeblood of effective pricing strategies. It offers a window into how customers use your product, the evaluation of features, their sensitivity to price changes, and By leveraging analytics, you can tailor your pricing to better match customer expectations and optimize revenue. For example, you may find that certain features are highly valued by a small segment of your users, suggesting an opportunity for a premium tier or add-on. This approach is about marrying customer insights with business objectives to find the perfect pricing equilibrium. On position number 3, increasing prices. This is an inevitable part of the SaaS journey, reflecting the evolving value of your product. The art lies in how these changes are communicated. Transparently explaining the reasons for price adjustments and added benefits customers can expect is key to maintaining trust and loyalty. Thoughtful strategies such as grandfathering existing customers can ease this transition and reinforce customer relationships. This part can be messed up by just emailing all your customers saying you will increase your prices from tomorrow. Some founders give more than 6 months to their users before they implement the change. All of that with a strong email campaign behind it to not have user churn. Now, on position 4, psychological pricing. Understanding the psychological triggers behind purchasing decisions can give SaaS companies an edge. Techniques such as anchoring, where you set a high price anchor tier to make other options seem more reasonable, can significantly influence customer choice. Similarly, presenting pricing in a way that highlights the relative value of higher tiers can encourage upgrades. On position number 5, international pricing. Going global with your SaaS means navigating a maze of currency, economic, and cultural variables. Tailoring your pricing for different markets is essential, whether through localized pricing strategies or adjustments for purchasing power parity. This global perspective ensures your product is accessible and competitively priced, broadening its appeal across borders. And finally, AI and machine learning in pricing. AI and machine learning are transforming the landscape of predictive pricing. These technologies sift through mountains of data to anticipate how pricing adjustments might influence user behavior, including acquisition, churn, and overall revenue. Armed with these predictive insights, SaaS companies can navigate the timing and nature of pricing changes with unprecedented precision, ensuring strategies are both proactive and informed. A great example is Uber's surge pricing, but I believe we're yet to see it in SaaS. Now, before we head into the final thoughts and best practices, please press that like button. So, final thoughts and best practices. Crafting an effective SaaS pricing strategy is an ongoing process that requires attention to market trends, customer feedback, and internal metrics. The most successful SaaS companies are those that remain flexible, willing to adjust the pricing models as they grow and learn more about their customers. Remember, the goal of your pricing strategy should always be to clearly communicate the value of your product, encourage adoption, and foster long-term customer relationships. Feeling overwhelmed by the array of pricing strategies we've explored? I drop an episode like this with strategies and concepts for your tech business once a week. Please hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you'll get notified every single time I release an episode. If you have a fellow founder, if you have a team member, if you're part of a Slack group, Telegram, or WhatsApp group with other founders that could get value from this video, please share this with your team. I want to help as many founders as possible to scale their business. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm Alexej, and I will see you in the next episode.